Hello there, my name is Pasquale and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now in this video, some new interesting price targets for Bitcoin. I'll show you my trade. I'm going to also show you some very important analysis from glassnode, some analytical stuff that you really have to keep in mind. And then we're going to break apart the price action here real quick so that you're always alerted and you are always aware of what you can actually expect from the Bitcoin price at any given moment. So if you're brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you're always notified when I make a new upload. And of course, if you would be very appreciative of this content, if you're enjoying this content, then hit that like button. Let's see at least 1,500 likes would be very much appreciated. It always motivates me to create new content. But if you don't want to click that like button, that's okay. Still enjoy this amazing content. Okay, so let's get into it. And before we start talking about all the technicals that are happening right now, and call me Mr. Spot On down in the comments right now, because we are in a very nice short trade. And right here over in Bybit, racking in like $6,500 in just one day. So if you've been following me and if you've been part of my Telegram channel, which there is a link to down in the description of this video, or also you can follow me on Twitter, just the verified account. All the stuff oftentimes is posted there as well. Then you are in this short trade as well. So congratulations, enjoy your profits, and all you can do is like the video and call me Mr. Spot On down in the comments. So, and remember, if you want to be trading actively yourself, longing or shorting Bitcoin or any other altcoin or any other cryptocurrency, then you can do it over on Bybit or over on BitGet. And with my exclusive links, only with my links that you can find down in the description or in the pinned comment, you'll get up to $12,100 in initial deposit bonuses, $4,100 with Bybit, and up to $8,000 with BitGet. So go and enjoy those insane bonuses. But now we're seeing some kind of a small pullback here in the short-term downward momentum in Bitcoin. So I've had like $8,000 profit here. But let's quickly talk about my price targets and what I'm expecting. But before we get into all the technicals, let me quickly tell you, and this is going to really surprise you. So stick around till the end. It's a very important video. So here in glassnode, well, it's in Cointelegraph, but it's stuff from glassnode. So Bitcoin network activity has the actual decline in Bitcoin network activity suggests longer bear market. So as they're writing here, that although Bitcoin prices made a strong 15% recovery over the past week, metrics suggest more network demand would be needed to sustain further price increases. I know, sounds complicated, so stick around till the end. You have to understand these things if you want to understand anything in the world of crypto. So there is a lot of blah 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 going around here, but let me just break it down for you. So glassnode wrote that a decline in network activity can be interpreted as a lack of new demand for the network from speculative traders over long-term hodlers. So right now what we are seeing in the market is a lot of long-term hodlers that are probably never going to sell, who are hodling a lot of Bitcoin and they're just sitting there. So, and for us to actually gain some momentum in the price, we actually want to see that bull market influx of the new demand. So this is going to be a good example of the chart right here, that whenever we see a bull market, we see this, you know, this orange line right here, which is this representative of number of new active addresses. So the bull market influx always comes with the influx of this kind of new demand. And in this instance right now, like for example, when there is bear market beginning, then we see the demand destruction. So in here, currently we are not really seeing a huge increase in the demand, which would actually show us that there is, you know, that we are entering into the next bull phase. So for us to actually push higher, despite all the macroeconomic environment that is terrible right now, and you know this if you've been following me here, so that's why I like the video and subscribe. And we're not seeing it right now. So also, if we're going to go lower, we're going to take a look at this chart and we're going to see the same kind of number of transactions per second, and basically it's consolidating right now. So this is like bear market recovery, the same kind of a thing we've been seeing here. So we cannot really call this a bottom just yet, even from this perspective, and saying that we are entering the new bull phase. So this brings us to the technical, which is quite negative, but this brings us to the actual technicals right here. And again, if you haven't seen my previous video from yesterday, well, you missed out on a lot of stuff. And when you miss my YouTube videos, you miss amazing trades and you don't take insane profits like Thomas Crollo does. So right here, we are still making our way downward. And currently for this short trade that I have open over on Bybit, my current approximate price target is at about $21,500. But, and of course, if we're going to take a look at the EMA ribbon, which is very important, remember remember that for us to confirm this move to the downside, we really want to exit this vicinity, because right now there is a lot of fighting going on whether we're going to push it above the daily EMA ribbon or actually going to push it below. Currently, I'm still betting on the downside. Obviously, that's why I have opened a short trade. But let's turn off the EMA ribbon and let's move on to a smaller time frame, which is going to paint us an interesting picture. So right now, we actually fought quite hard for this resistance that we have in this wedge right here that you've just seen in the daily chart, and we obviously retested it right here, and we are moving to the downside. But we have formed a very interesting support in this vicinity that is currently supporting us quite a lot. So honestly, what I'm personally thinking is that we could potentially come up right now, right here, retest maybe 23,125 right here, and the big question is going to be whether we're going to push above or we're going to actually get rejected from here and go to our initial target of about $21,500. So for me to just protect my current short trade and not let it, run infinitely and stop me out, or let me leave with zero profit or something like that. I really don't like to leave with big minuses, so I usually leave with either a good profit, a huge massive profit, or a zero or something similar. So in this instance, when we're seeing this kind of consolidation, and we're not really seeing that kind of a rapid move downward, I'm paying very close attention to this wedge right here, which has developed. And certainly we have to also pay attention to this level right here, which is very important, which is at about, let's take a look, 24,150, which has been our very important resistance here as well, which actually marked this beginning of this small short-term downtrend, as with this beautiful fake out complex false break right here. And if you're one of my students at thomascrawley.com, then you know what a beautiful, juicy fake out and false break actually looks like. So right now, cutting it down to the chase, I am thinking that if we're going to break above with some volume here and then stabilize above it, this is going to be an interesting, actually, even though it's going to be against macroeconomics, etc., and against the current situation in the market, but it still is going to be an incredible longing opportunity, in my opinion, for just a short-term trade, at least up to the area of $24,000. But for me, I will at least leave this short trade with a few $1,000s in profit, and then I'm going to consider opening a long trade if we're going to break above. Because remember, these are very simple patterns and structures, and that of course in a long-term perspective we are in a downtrend, but right now we are in a short-term uptrend, some hopium scenario, so we cannot exclude the possibility of short-term upside price action. So if we're going to break above from in this vicinity, I would be very interested in trading from about 23,100 all the way up to 24K possibly. Just kind of an interesting scalp trade, day trade, but really you have to be watching this resistance going to be coming in of this actual channel from the daily chart. So these are very important things to keep an eye out. And of course, with everything that is going on, I'm more bearish once again, and we're waiting for the CPI data to come out in about less than 2 weeks, which is going to maybe mark the the peak of the inflation, but maybe not. We'll pay attention to it. And one last thing before you go, that is actually quite good and quite bullish, and that is actually the current oil price, because we've seen this wedge happening right here. And you remember that the oil price is affecting the Bitcoin price tremendously, simply because it has the high oil price has the implication of high inflation. So at this point we had this fake out, and I was very worried about it, because if we would break above, we could go back above $100 per barrel easily, but we got rejected and we are moving downward below 100, and I'm hoping to see the oil price go even lower. It's hard for me to predict what's going to happen, and usually these kinds of wedges break above, just statistically. But if it's going to go lower, then we're certainly going to see some improvement in terms of inflation, maybe peak inflation, and then we're going to finally flip bullish on Bitcoin. So I'm going to link a full course, trading course right here, a free one if you want to check it out and learn how to trade properly yourself, longing or shorting Bitcoin. Then check it out right now, and stay smart, stay rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.